Today's a little review on solving some systems of equations. So let's take a look at our first problem here. It's going to ask us, first three problems on tonight's homework ask us to solve by substitution. So let's take a look at our first problem, and it is one in which we have y equals x plus 3. So whenever you have an expression equal to a variable, set it equal. Put it in place of the y in the equation below. And let's rewrite what we've got. So in place of that y, we're writing x plus 3. And then we rewrite what y equals also. It's just 2x plus 12. And then from there, we just do some opposite operations to solve for x. So I'm going to take away x from all sides. And I will also subtract the 12. Remember, put variables on one side, constants go on the other. And so negative 9 is what we get for the value of x. We'll just take that value of x and put it back in to the equation above. It doesn't matter which one. Top one seems a little faster though. So negative 9 plus 3 gives me negative 6. So there it is. X is negative 9. Y is negative 6. So that's the first one. Let's take a look at another one here. The next one looks to be very similar. The difference is that x equals an expression, not y. So always when you're using substitution, look for the variable that's by itself. And that's the one you're going to take the expression, which it is, and put it in place of the equation, the other equation. This time it's the equation above. And so we go ahead and do that work. We've got 3 being multiplied by x, but x is y minus 4. And then minus 2y equals negative 7. So we go ahead and do some work there. You're going to distribute that 3 over that subtraction. And when you do that, we're left with a 3y minus 12 minus 2y equals negative 7. So you go ahead and do some opposite operations there. We'll just add that 12 to both sides. And then also collect some like terms. Always look at the sign in front of the term, never behind. So when you do that, we'll end up with just a positive y equaling 5 when I do that subtraction. I subtract because they're opposite in sign. Now take that 5 and put it in for y in that second equation and solve for x. So x equals 5 minus 4, which is 1. And there it is, 1 comma 5. So the last one that asks us to solve by substitution is another good one for that. It's a word problem, and yours deals with auto parts and labor. This one deals with buying a gym membership. So we take a look at the two different gyms. One gym has a joining fee. Now this is a one-time fee. You're not going to pay that again. So that's your constant. Here's your variable amount, $35 per month. So whenever you see the words per month and they ask us how many months, that's where your variable goes. So you're going to write this. Again, they don't know the cost either. So the charge, what's the charge going to be? We're going to use C for the charge. So one gym, we'll say one gym, they charge, well, their charge is C equals $35 per month, so 35M, plus their joining fee, that one-time fee that you never pay again. So that's added on to that monthly charge. Well, let's take a look at the other one. The other, it says actually another. Another has no joining fee. So that's 0 in place of our constant there. But they do have, so and, a cost of $60 per month. So that tells us that is the amount that we're going to pay each month, so that's our variable amount. So another gym, we'll just write another to represent that different equation. The variable C equals 60M plus 0. So it's a great one for substitution. Just take that expression that one gym is and put it in for the other gyms. And let's see what we've got. So let's rewrite our equation. And it's going to be 35M plus 150 equals 60M. So you go ahead and do some opposite operations here. and we'll just subtract that 35 from both sides. Be careful on this, though. A lot of people will get 35 as the answer because they don't borrow, but that's not the answer. So remember, we have to borrow, and when we do that, we end up with 25m. So make sure you bring down that 150. I ended up writing 15 instead of 150, but I caught my mistake. And I divide by 25. Now think of quarters as you do this division. How many quarters make $1.50 or 150 pennies? Well, that would end up being 6. So that's the number of months it'll take until they charge the same. So first, the second gym, the one that charges $60 per month, is cheaper, but after 6 months, they charge the same. So let's find out what that charge is. Let's go ahead and put that 6 back in for m. Probably that one's the fastest one. 60 times by 6. That charge would be $360. So there it is. There's the monthly charge after they charge the same. After 6 months, they'll charge the same. But anything higher than 6 months, the first gym is cheaper. Well, that's the first part. Part 2 will have the last 2 types of problems.